We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM at KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now, our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World and a Cruiserweight Champion.
I'm Ethan.
I'm James.
I'm Rob.
And this is episode 160 of Beyond the Ropes. We are BTR Pro Wrestling Talk. You can find me on Twitter at EthanMB95. You can follow James at
JHW Reporter.
You can follow Rob at
Rob Flores Media. And don't forget the R-Truth DMs for Ethan.
Don't DM me anything R-Truth related. He still hasn't captured that 24/7 title. But
So,
anyway, go ahead.
yeah, never mind. We're not gonna get into it. I do. Ethan. There was some big breaking news though today, or not today, but this week.
There was.
The new iPhone Pro 13 is coming out.
Gonna pass on that one. Just gonna no, I don't think I'm getting.
You're not excited about that big breaking news?
No, I mean, I think there's a few bigger stories we got here.
Like USC fired its football coach?
I mean, that's pretty big. And I don't think it's the biggest story of the week, but
UCLA football is ranked number 13 in the coaches poll and the AP Top 25 poll, even though they didn't play last week.
That's kind of a big story, I guess, for you, for your fans over on Twitter.
What's better than any of that stuff?
I mean,
anything else happened this week?
There was a recall attempt in California.
Oh, yeah, that election thing. Mm-hmm.
It failed. It failed. So,
yeah, make sure you guys vote. I mean, not this, but future stuff too.
Yeah,
make sure you vote. There was
people voted.
There
was a couple title changes.
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
that was a big.
And there was also there was also a very emotional goodbye that went out earlier today.
Oh God, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's
still a fresh wound.
I forgot he was in that. Anyways, well, yeah, the title changes.
I got her bed. I got her bed today. You're lucky I did. After watching that video,
Dan, you've been. Oh, I thought you were gonna say you're still down bad from just the whole week.
It's been a week.
Are you really going through it? No, you're over it, right? You're all right. You'll live.
We'll see.
Isn't he on TV?
Something that's pretty big though. Pretty big. We got a new a big WWE champion in the name of one Big E.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
Cashed in that Money in the Bank contract, became a new WWE champion. Hold on here. We log that in here. Where is it? There? Oh, there he is, right there.
Okay, before we get into the actual storyline and then everything else, where they're going with this, what was your initial reaction upon just hearing them or seeing them announce it ahead of time that Big E was going to cash? He was going to be he was going to be there on Raw, and he was going to cash, or he was going to attempt to cash, or whatever. And this was like at 8 a.m. This was like 12 hours before the show, or 9 or 10 hours before the show.
Well, obviously, it was a business move. Obviously, they want to get those ratings. It was the first week of football, correct?
Yes, it was Monday Night Football.
Well, obviously, they were competing against Monday Night Football, and obviously, they were trying to keep those ratings up. We'll talk about those ratings in a little bit. But no, I mean, I was okay with it. I was happy. It was the right choice. It was against the right opponent, because obviously, Big E is not going to challenge the one true head of the table, the tribal chief, who I acknowledge right now, Roman Reigns. He had to go over on Raw, eliminate that transitional reign that Lashley had.
Sure, he had it for like at least 6 months, if not a year.
6 months or so. But nonetheless, it was finally the reign of terror is over. This is worse than when Hogan had,
No, I'm leaving. I'm done. Where's the exit button? How do you get out of this?
Oh Lord!
I'm done.
But look at this image behind me here. This is great. I get to see this image again. This obviously happened a couple of years ago with Kofi winning the WWE Championship. Now we get to see Big E have his moment to shine, and it capped off or it ended a pretty good Raw. I thought really solid. They've been kind of hitting it out of the park this week, at least in terms of their content. So let's go back a little bit. We'll get into more detail about the cash-in, but let's start from the beginning, shall we? The show kicked off with Big E. He came out, huge ovation. He ran around the ring. He announced, he was going to cash in tonight. In terms of the actual cash in, I was completely fine with them announcing he was going to cash it in. He's a baby.
You don't think it took away from anything? I mean, at that point, you kind of know he's going to get it, right?
Well, no, there were plenty of naysayers on social media saying, "No, it's not going to happen." They're doing it for ratings. They're just,
yeah.
It's not going to happen. They're just trying to get people to watch, and then he doesn't do it. But then when he does do it, it's a big deal. The crowd pops huge for it.
Right.
So
now, real quick, when I hear that, I'm thinking, yes, he's gonna cash it in, but there's a good chance it might not work out, and that's what I was afraid of. I knew he was gonna get cashed in. If you say you're gonna cash it in or whatever, you're gonna cash it. But I was afraid that it wasn't gonna work out.
But it did. It did. He was quickly interrupted by Randy Orton, who was quickly interrupted by Bobby Lashley. They kind of had a little few back and forth of words. Lashley got hit with an RKO, and that was going to be our main event, which was originally scheduled to be a tag team title match between MVP and Lashley versus Orton and Riddle. And the WWE title match was actually supposed to be at Extreme Rules. They basically just pushed it forward and, went the other way, which, it happens. But anyways, that was going to end up being our main event. The show kicked off in terms of a match. It kicked off with, by the way, I'm getting the notes here from Wrestling Inc., so credit to them. I'm getting all these notes here. But the show kicked off here with Charlotte Flair taking on Shayna Baszler. This was a fun match. So, they had some back and forth here. This was a championship contenders match. If Shayna Baszler won, she would have earned an opportunity. But much like last week where Shayna cost Nia Jax her opportunity at the Raw Women's Championship, this time Nia Jax cost Shayna her opportunity. And Charlotte picked up the victory with a big boot. So obviously some tensions there with Shayna and Nia. They've kind of been the units for over a year now as a tag team.
Has it only been I feel like it's been longer than that.
It's been over a year, I would say.
Yeah.
They've been 2-time WWE tag team champions. And it looks like they're going to be feuding with each other in the very near future.
I think it was a good run, though.
It was a good run. Solid year. I mean, we got to see Baszler as a champion, so that's good. Like Baszler. Nia Jax is Nia Jax. She's good. So next up, Bliss actually came out after the match and left Charlotte Flair alone after Charlotte rejected Alexa's gift, which was her own doll named Charlie. Very creepy looking doll.
That's right.
Next up, we had Drew McIntyre, Barry, Jinder Mahal, Beer, and Shanky. He defeated them basically by himself. I mean, he had the Viking Raiders, but I don't think Ivar entered the match at all.
That's tough.
And the time Eric was in the match, he was the one getting beaten down. So Drew McIntyre just squashed his opponents. It was a very short match. Next up, we had the United States Championship match between Damian Priest and Jeff Hardy. Last week, people were criticizing WWE for having Jeff Hardy chasing that 24/7 championship.
Right.
This week, he shows up, he gets full entrance. They literally milk that entrance. He gets a United States Championship opportunity, and it's a back and forth match. It's not a squash match or anything. So
Well, look at WWE listening to the fans. How about that?
that Priest retained. He hit that reckoning to defeat Hardy.
As you should. As you should.
Yes, as you should. Sheamus came out, or he was doing commentary during the match, and then attacked Priest after. However, Priest countered and hit Sheamus with his own Brogue Kick. And we're going to see those two in action for the U.S. title at Extreme Rules coming up in a couple of weeks. A solid match between Hardy and Priest. We did get a 24/7 championship kind of segment backstage. R-Truth and a group of the 24/7 division chasing Reggie. And then we had Drake Maverick saying the problem was not the plan, but in the execution. So Drake Maverick's, I guess, kind of like the mastermind of trying.
Yeah, he's kind of the
Reggie away from that title. So pulling double duty because we did see him on NXT.
That's right.
Yes.
Getting jobbed out.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Let's see. Moving on from that, we had a little backstage segment between Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley saying they're going after those tag team titles. It seems like anytime we see two baby faces now, I guess they're just going to put them together as a team.
What do we think about what they're doing here? Is Rhea,
she just had the title. Now Charlotte has it. And it looks like Charlotte's not going to lose that title anytime soon.
Right. And it's just to maybe kind of help avoid having Charlotte and Rhea cross paths. You got to have something for the other one to do.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look, correct.
We'll talk about what may end up happening in a couple of weeks. So we'll talk about that right now. Could be some changes happening here. So for now, they're keeping definitely Nikki ASH and Rhea away from that Raw Women's Championship. Clearly in the tag division, we had Nikki versus Tamina in a singles match. Nikki ended up picking up the victory here with the Tornado DDT. After the match, we had Natalya versus Rhea, and this was a very competitive match. And Natalya got a lot of offense in. I want to say this was the first time these two met in the ring, so there was a lot of back and forth, but it was ultimately Rhea Ripley getting that riptide. No, it was a submission. Sorry. It was that prism trap that she uses to make Natty tap out to get that victory. So it looks like they may be in line for a tag team title opportunity. Next up, we had Mansoor, Mustafa Ali, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods take on the team of AJ Styles, Omos, Mace, and T-Bar in a fun 8-man tag team match. Ali ended up getting by the giant Omos. Again, another fun match, but obviously Omos taking out everyone at one point and getting the victory for his team.
Okay.
Next up, we had Doudrop squash Eva Marie. I don't know what they're doing with Eva Marie. I don't know what's going on with
she has like the second most social media followers among wrestlers. It's about the only thing she has going for her.
I guess so.
Whatever works.
Next up, we had our main event for the WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley versus Randy Orton. It was another competitive match between the two. This was the first time in 14 years, I want to say. They said that they faced off one-on-one.
Really?
And it was a good match. Lashley, thanks to some outside interference, ended up hitting Randy with the spear to retain the WWE Championship. And then we hear Big E's music hit, and he's going to cash in. And they go to commercial. They come back. Lashley's still refusing to defend the title.
Mm-hmm.
But we see, he gets slapped in the face by Big E. And then he says, ring the bell. He says a word I can't say on here, which you can see clearly in the camera, which is hilarious. And he kind of brings Big E down for a second. It's a little competitive at first. Big E goes for that big ending. It's reversed into a spear, and you think, oh no, they're going to get, it's It's going to be a failed cash in. No, he kicks out of the spear. Lashley goes for another Dominator, I believe it's called. And then Big E counters into that big ending for a 1, 2, 3. We have a new WWE champion. Big E gets it. New Day comes out to celebrate, and we get some pyro, and it's a great moment.
Yeah, kind of interesting too, because I remember when Bobby Lashley, when Bobby won, we were talking about like African American champions and how there's probably been very few, if any, real like African American one-on-one matches for the title and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, I mean this the purpose, they're not doing it on purpose, but obviously Big E being African American means a lot to me. Winning the championship again like that, much like Bobby Lashley was and Kofi before that, et cetera, et cetera. But this was something going into WrestleMania when we kind of started WrestleMania season, where there was a little bit of a build, and then it seemed like he maybe kind of lost a little bit of momentum there. And you kind of start thinking, maybe they saw something and they decided not to go with him. So maybe that trust was there all along. It's not like they had this predicted, but yeah, I just thought it was good. I thought it was good. They finally pulled the trigger, made it happen, and it feels kind of weird, but I think it falls in line with the theme of what this whole week kind of was. You're making new stars. You're raising the stock on some guys and seeing where we go from here. And I think having Big E as one of those guys is a good place to start. A lot of people like him, and he was a champion in NXT. It's not like he's a complete stranger to championships. He was Intercontinental Champion, Tag Champion, so well deserved. And we'll see what they do. Hopefully, they don't put him in the ring with Goldberg anytime soon.
Hopefully, they do, because he wants that match with Goldberg. He's outright stated it. So
I'm sure he wants Hogan too, but come on.
No, he wants Goldberg I'll send you the clip. I don't know. You haven't seen that clip? It's a good clip.
Well, was it the 3-minute one? Emotional speech?
It was the one on the New Day podcast where he talks about it.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, great moment for Big E. Obviously a big deal. You mentioned this was actually the first time an African American WWE champion loses to another African American to trade the title there. So great night for Big E and the New Day. Everyone was loving it. So when we return, we're going to talk more WWE, starting with Friday Night SmackDown from the Garden.
That's right.
We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 160 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm your host, Ethan. You can find me on Twitter at EthanMV95. You can find James at
JHW Reporter.
You can find producer Rob at
Rob Flores Media.
That's right. And we got to say it here before we move on.
See what?
We got to acknowledge someone's birthday today, isn't it?
Today's not my birthday. It's in October.
Oh, it's not your birthday. So then, whose birthday could it be?
Jay Uso.
Well, one of the Usos, not both of the Usos.
Mm-mm.
Oh, well.
One was born at 11:59 p.m. and the other one was at midnight.
Oh, really? Well, according to Facebook, because Facebook alerts me, someone's birthday,
okay.
September 15th. I don't know if this is true, but it says Rob Flores. It's his birthday.
Wow, Rob, it's your birthday and you didn't tell anybody?
According to Stitch. Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. Happy birthday, Rob. Come on now.
Yeah, Rob, happy birthday to you, sir. And I actually wanted to mention this a little bit earlier because it was something I noticed. I like your hair and you look really nice today.
There you go. You fixed it up today. Special day. We'll have to have cake very soon. It's my birthday's coming up. James' birthday apparently is next month. Who knew, right?
I mean, apparently, like I'm just making it up. That's my birthday.
According to you, it is your birthday next month. But anyways, happy birthday, Rob. We'll acknowledge your birthday today, but don't forget to acknowledge your tribal chief. Look at him. He's standing right behind me. Look at that. See that?
He looks very mad.
Look, oh, he's smiling. He's got a smirk. Hey,
So
hey.
actually, so Rob must have been extra funny on his birthday because he sends me an email right before the show, and I swore I was getting feature endeavored. I was like, "Whoop, this is it."
Not yet.
I'm not gonna.
You might get drafted.
I mean, I didn't open it, so I don't know. I
WWE,
probably did get featured.
apparently WWE, they're having their annual draft happening October 1st and October 4th, starting with Friday Night SmackDown, and then Monday Night Raw the following week. It continues there. So I'm thinking in 2 weeks we might have something a little special. I do have a little announcement. We'll save it till the end. Nothing huge, but a little announcement.
It's a little one, a teeny one. Okay.
Little one. They don't know about it. But it'll be a nice surprise for Rob's birthday. Anyways, moving on. Let's move on. Let's talk about wrestling. Let's talk about Friday Night SmackDown. It happened at the world's most famous arena. I'm talking about Madison Square Garden. No, it wasn't my house. It wasn't my house. It was.
I thought you were talking about my house at first.
Sir, you're not even at your house right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Of course, the show kicks off with the Bloodline, the Tribal Chief, the main event Jays right here, right there, right. Getting my fingers all mixed up. They're here. Huge ovation. He kicked it off. It was a great kickoff. Let's see what he said here. He asked the wise man, aka Paul Heyman, when it comes to sports entertainment, WWE runs New York City, right? Heyman agrees. And who owns WWE? He says, you own WWE, Tribal Chief. Reigns says that's right. And he and the Bloodline run WWE. Therefore, the Tribal Chief runs New York City and runs Madison Square Garden. I can't find anything wrong with that. I mean, it's true. Technically, Madison Square Garden in New York City belongs to the Reigns. So can't disagree with that. However, he was rudely interrupted by some farmer by the name of Brock Lesnar.
I tweeted something. What did I say he looked like?
I don't know, but he's
Dang it. I forgot what I said.
he's got the flannel, that ripped up flannel.
He looked like Larry the Cable Guy, kind of.
He looked very country for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Then Brock comes in and he asks, Heyman asks Lesnar why the Universal Championship? Why not go after the WWE Championship? And then Brock interrupts him and says, I just want to know, why didn't you tell Reigns that he was going to be at SummerSlam?
I saw that, yeah.
I don't know. Reigns didn't look happy. And then he left. He took that Universal Championship from Heyman's hands and he walked out. And then that led to Heyman proceeding to introduce Brock Lesnar, as he did. Because I guess he technically still works for Lesnar. Okay, pulling double duty. I appreciate the hustle. Just like myself, I pull double duty. I do this show and then I host a podcast. Number one podcast right now.
That's right.
Number one podcast.
You're not wrong.
Not wrong there. But anyways, getting back to Heyman here. Lesnar told Heyman, look, you have a 3 second or 5 seconds to give me my match against Reigns. And then he stopped, I think, at 2 seconds, and then he sets him up for an F5. He's about to F5 Heyman. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, coming in for the save, hits him with that Superman punch. The Usos throw in a few super kicks, but Lesnar stops him. Hits him with a few suplexes, takes him to Suplex City, and kind of leaves some questions there. So great opening segment in the Garden. The first match is a 10-man tag team match, which has Sami Zayn, Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, and Apollo Crews taking on King Nakamura, Rick Boogs, Big E.
Who?
Rick Boogs,
Oh.
Big E, which
Mhm.
who would have thought Big E from a 10-man tag 3 days later would end up WWE champion? Who would have thought?
Life comes up too fast.
Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio are also in the match. Before the match begins, Sami Zayn introduces. Well, first off, he's wearing a New York jersey. So the Knicks jersey. Do the Knicks play at Madison Square Garden?
They do.
Okay, that explains it.
They do.
And he introduces NBA star Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. And I don't know who this guy is, but I clap for him.
You
I clap for him. Apparently he dominated at Madison Square Garden. And anyone who can dominate Madison Square Garden, especially when you're, a visitor, I can appreciate that. And apparently Madison Square Garden is also his house. So New York fans weren't really happy about that. But, he came out. He did that thing. Ultimately, Big E ended up hitting Sami Zayn with the big ending to get the victory. So
okay,
nice,
so
nice 10-man tag to kind of get everyone on the card in the Garden.
Every time you say 10-man tag, you kind of cringe a little bit. I'm like, geez,
I want the 10-man tag.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. Trying to get everyone on the show.
I mean,
one person that didn't get on the show.
Oh,
Zelina Vega.
that's tough. Why?
Well, apparently there was a women's match scheduled. They got cut due to time. And obviously it was kind of a big deal for Zelina Vega because it was the 20th anniversary the following day of 9/11. And obviously her father was a part of that, who passed away.
That's tough. So she was there, yeah.
She was there, and her match got cut. I know she was there the following day reading the names, I believe, of the victims at 9/11 Memorial. So, big deal there. But unfortunate for her, she wasn't involved on the show. And I believe she had a new outfit she did post on social media. So, bummer for her.
I wonder if she's regretting it already.
Her husband got released, and then this got cut from the show and hasn't won a match, I don't think, since she's been back. So not looking good. Next up, we had Bianca Belair. And the man, Becky Lynch, looking like a main event star, like she is. Big time Bex, as she likes to refer to herself as. She came out. I don't know why you're rolling your eyes like that, sir.
Because she came in and just stole the title.
No. Let's correct it. She came in and saved everyone.
From what?
She said here, look, she's like, well, I don't know why you're cheering for her. When I came back, left my newborn daughter at home, I came back last minute and saved all of you and gave you a memorable moment at SummerSlam.
She could have said no.
But then she would have looked like a bad person. And she's not a bad person. She's a very giving person, obviously. It runs in the household. Very giving person there. So, big fan of big time Bex. Put that on a t-shirt, I'll buy it. Anyways, they signed the contract. It's official at Extreme Rules. Becky Lynch defends against Bianca Belair. So, that's going to happen. The next up, we had a stellar contest around 30 minutes or so. I think the reason the women's match was cut between Edge and Seth Rollins. This was a solid match.
Didn't have to go that long, though.
It was a classic match. You're going to tell these two veterans not to have a...
Weren't they just on a pay-per-view?
It's Madison Square Garden. This is Edge's potentially last Garden appearance, he said. So, come on now.
I was kind of surprised that they were in the Garden, though. Just because there was that whole thing about whether or not they were ever going to be in there again.
Because it's expensive to shoot TV, which understandable, but at the same time now you've got a AEW kind of breathing down their necks. So they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose the Garden there. Got to do some shows there. So
That's true.
But yeah, this was a stellar match. Ultimately, it ended with Seth Rollins kind of hitting a curb stomp, re-injuring the neck of Edge.
So Seth Rollins is not safe.
No. He seemed very regretful. Before he even did it, Edge was kind of on his knees, defenseless. He hit him with a few kicks, and he was very hesitant about hitting that stomp. But he did it, and he was hesitant. Even after he did it, he was hesitant. All right, so Seth Rollins was hesitant to hit that curb stomp, but ultimately ended up hitting it on Edge and got the victory. Moving on to the main event, we had the Usos defending those SmackDown Tag Team titles against Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, the Street Profits. This was a fantastic match. I mean, you can't go wrong with these two. These two tag teams. But it was ultimately the Tribal Chief coming out, interrupting the match, hitting the guillotine on Montez Ford, and the Street Profits ended up winning by disqualification. Reigns kept the guillotine on Ford for a bit, and takes the mic and says if Brock Lesnar wants it, he can get the fight. But first, he's gonna smash Finn Balor. The lights go out, however, and they come back, and the entrance of the Demon starts. Music hits. Balor comes out in full Demon paint, and there is a face-off, and the show goes off with the face-off between the Demon, Finn Balor, and Roman Reigns. Great Madison Square Garden show. Looking forward to this match. We're going to get the Demon versus Reigns at Extreme Rules.
Just to stay on SmackDown though, real quick, was this didn't they have a dark match, or was that another show?
I mean, if you're talking about Cena was after the show.
Yeah, that was after this one, right?
Yeah.
So Roman worked he didn't have a match, but who didn't you say Ray and Dominic were in that, and weren't they in the dark match?
I believe they were in the dark match.
Okay, I thought you had said they were in that 10-man though.
Well, they were in the 10-man, and then they were in the dark match as well.
Wow, so they're doing double duty.
Well, I mean, multiple people do that. It's not uncommon for superstars to wrestle more than one match a night.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing it in the 10-man, I guess it kind of works out because you're not taking as many bumps and stuff.
Yeah, you conserve energy there. So yeah, that's basically SmackDown in a nutshell. Overall, really enjoyed the show. Fun show. It kicked off a weekend full of great shows. As mentioned, we talked about Monday Night Raw already, with Big E winning the WWE Championship. Something that was unfortunate that happened over the weekend, though. Samoa Joe went on social media and officially relinquished the NXT Championship due to injury. It's not looking good for Samoa Joe.
It really is not. But I am a little optimistic because of what Samoa Joe was saying and how he handled the announcement.
I didn't watch the video. What did he say that made you so optimistic?
So he was just very, very to the point on, I'm injured. He didn't say what the injury was. He said he acknowledged that there was going to be this new era of NXT, and it's only right that if there's going to be a new era, it needs a fighting champion. So he didn't have a problem relinquishing the title, but he also says good luck to the competitors that are going to be competing for it. But, more or less, best of luck or whatever to whoever ends up winning it, because unfortunately I'm going to come back and I'm going to get what's mine. So it's kind of an interesting spot. I don't think it's a work. I mean, I don't think they would. Yeah, I don't think it's a work because then they would be. I mean, they just put the title on them, so it has to be something legitimate, but also something that they don't deem serious enough to where his career is in jeopardy. They think he's going to come back in a significant amount of time. Maybe it's something along the lines of what Karrion Kross did, where he's out for maybe a few months. But just unfortunate that, you know, his career was in limbo anyways. He gets a chance. And then just to have this happen again. When I first saw it, I first saw someone tweet about it, kind of thought, maybe it's not true, yada, yada. And then I started seeing it, and I was like, oh, man, this ain't going to be good. But it sounds like he'll come back. So
Hopefully.
we'll wait and see.
Hopefully, but there is new NXT, and when we return, we're going to talk about that brand new NXT right here on Beyond the Ropes. We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 160 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm your host, Ethan, joined alongside the analyst, James Williams, and producer, Rob Flores. We're talking NXT, or should I say NXT 2.0. Hold on, let me get my banner over here. What do we got over here? Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Nope. Oh, there it is. Look at that. It's very colorful. Can you guys see that? Look at that.
There you go.
Very colorful for sure. They're calling it NXT 2.0 now. I don't like the 2.0 part. I feel it's unnecessary. We know it's we know it's new NXT, but literally they called it NXT 2.0 like 100 times. So that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is, I guess. Basically, kicked off with a song from rapper Wale. I don't know the name of the song, but I was trying to look for it. I couldn't find it.
Probably an exclusive song for that.
Probably. Vic Joseph welcomed with a video package of a Fatal 4-Way that was originally supposed to be a number one contenders match for the NXT Championship. Of course, before the break, we talked about Samoa Joe relinquishing the title due to injury. So this match became a fatal 4-way for the vacant in NXT title. Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, and LA Knight. Say with me, James. LA.
No. LA Knight. I've been waiting for this moment all week. Mainly yesterday, but
they have bigger plans for him. I have a prediction.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear it because all I saw the other day, was a big fat L. That was the only big plan I saw for him, was a big fat L. 2 big fat L's. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think he's getting drafted. I think he's getting sent to Raw or SmackDown shortly.
No way. Hold on, player. Hold on a minute. You got NXT 2.0. He's only been there for a cup of coffee as it is.
He's 38 years old, sir. He's 38 years old. He's not young. He's not young. He's main roster ready.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, what do you have? One feud where Cameron Grimes literally carried him through most of that story.
Cameron Grimes is non-entity.
And they needed Ted DiBiase in that. Look, Cameron Grimes is the young upstart. What is he? No younger than 25? And he literally had to carry LA Knight through that storyline.
All right. Well,
he's old. He's washed up. He's no good. He's a half.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I know you're talking about Ted DiBiase. That's not nice to say.
No, okay. I'm not. No. I'm talking about your guy.
Moving on. That's NXT 1.0. Say it with me, James. LA Knight is probably going to get drafted to Raw or SmackDown in the draft in a couple of weeks.
We'll not ahead of Cameron Grimes.
We're on a time. We're time crunch here, sir. I'm trying to get through the 2.0. You're talking about 1.0 stuff. I'm talking about 2.0 stuff.
Oh my God.
All right.
Okay.
In the past.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Show kicked off with some promos with all those 4 competitors. LA Knight was interrupted by one Braun Breaker. Terrific name, by the way. He is
Now when you get just that Steiner.
he is the son of WWE or WCW legend Rick Steiner. He even has a Scott Steiner theme song or the alarm for his intro. But he challenged LA Knight to a match, and it was a quick one. So let's talk about the production real quick. First off, the Capitol Wrestling Center, no longer called the Capitol Wrestling Center, is now all white. It is basically an oval shape, and they've got a new setup. It's very colorful, like it is in my background here. And yeah, they weren't slow on bringing out the new talent here. So Braun Breaker took on LA Knight in a quick victory here. A number of these matches were actually really quick, in less than 10 minutes. So it looks like we're not getting those NXT classics, at least on television anymore.
Okay, wait, just real quick. I'm not trying to rehash this or anything, but I just want to point out this is yet another example of a young guy having to carry LA Knight in a match. Carry on.
Well, if you watched this match, you would know it was the opposite.
I
don't know how Steiner. I mean, we got to see some basic stuff, but I don't know how good he actually is in the ring.
He's a Steiner brother.
That's. I mean, he hasn't
He
been.
should have taken He should have taken LA Knight's spot in the match. I bet you he would have won the title.
No, we'll talk about that. I was terrified for a second there. We'll talk about that later. Imperium took on Josh Briggs and the newly debuting Brooks Jensen. Thank goodness Imperium won this one, because I was worried they were just going to have all these new people targeting victories over the veterans here. But another quick one here. Imperium gets victory. We got a promo from Hit Row, and then we got to see B-Fab taking on Katrina Cortez. This was about a 2-minute match, if that. B-Fab then talks about Elektra, the brand new member of Legado del Fantasma, Elektra Lopez. And it looks like we'll be seeing a one-on-one action at some point in the near future. Backstage, we had Cameron Grimes with Johnny Gargano and Mercy Jones. They were the best men, wearing they were wearing Dexter Lumis's shirts and jeans and gloves. It was hilarious. But then he brought in Austin Theory. He's back. He ran away and he came back for the wedding. A very touching moment for the way.
Where did he go again?
Can you repeat that?
I said, where did he go again, or what was his deal?
He ran away.
Oh, he literally ran away.
Yeah, he was upset. He ran away.
Okay.
And he said he brought a priest. He brought Damian Priest, who is not legally a priest. So, yeah. We go back to the ring. Carmelo Hayes with his friend Trick Williams cut a promo saying, he basically convinced Carmelo Hayes, who won the NXT Breakout Tournament earlier this year, stop being humble. Don't be humble. No more holding back. Then Duke Hudson, who was also in that Breakout Tournament, kind of interrupted them, and he got a beat down. So now we're going to see a heel Carmelo Hayes with his good friend Trick Williams.
Which I thought was kind of interesting, just because it was like, it's only been like 2 weeks since he had like won the tournament. Like, there was no like, okay, you won the breakout tournament, but then you start facing some veterans and you struggle a little bit. Like, there was no struggle. Like, he's just.
I mean, he lost. He lost to Adam Cole. He lost to Kushida. And this was before the breakout tournament, so.
Right, but I mean, even after the breakout tournament, you're supposed to be facing other young guys, so yeah, you're gonna look pretty dominant.
They just rebooted. They rebooted him. All right, you're heel now, so.
I guess.
Made a few changes there, which I mean, it's interesting to say the least. We got a backstage with Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, and Mandy Rose, and we got a tag team match with Kate Catanzaro and Kate Carter versus Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Mandy Rose, however, interrupted this match, and then we get a six-woman after Saray makes an appearance and makes a save. So it's a six-woman, Saray, Catanzaro, and Carter versus Mandy Rose, Dolan, and Jane. Ultimately, Mandy Rose reveals her brand new brunette look.
Yeah.
And she's kind of matching now with her teammates, her new stable there. I forget what they're called. Toxic something. I forgot what it is. I saw it on Twitter.
Okay, so I have a question. I saw the clip or the incident in which she was revealed, but like, did she come out to the ring in a hoodie the whole time, or?
She did. Yes. Well,
Okay.
this time she did because she dyed her hair.
No, I know, but they made it out like it was revealed during the match. I thought she snuck into the match. I didn't know she was officially in the match.
No, it was a tag match first, and then she interrupted, costing them the tag. Then it led to a six-person tag match. So.
Yeah, I think she looks good with the hair. I mean, she looks like a different wrestler. I mean, it just kind of.
She fits in with the new stable there, not just a blonde.
Yeah.
She's wearing the jorts now, so.
It's a nice little fresh repackage for her.
Absolutely. It's Mandy Rose 2.0, they said. So.
Oh, Lord.
I know. They do. We go to
you
the
weren't
back.
kidding.
We go to the back and we see Indy Hartwell and her bridesmaids getting ready, which is lovely for the wedding. Big wedding. I forgot to tell you, I was at the wedding yesterday. You didn't see me?
No.
Well, no, you didn't see me.
You want to screen?
I was in the back, yeah. I was hanging out. We get a squash match between Ridge Holland and Drake Maverick. Ridge Holland, of course, got that victory. We also saw earlier in the night Kyle O'Reilly getting attacked. Cool Kyle. Apparently he's not in the plans for 2.0. I don't know what's going on with him, but they attacked him, and he's replaced by Von Wagner.
That's why this guy randomly shows up in the match.
Apparently he made the save, protecting Kyle O'Reilly, and all of a sudden it just gets pushed into that title match. So I don't know.
And we have no knowledge of this guy whatsoever. He just pops up out of the blue.
He lost to Sheamus in a squash match last year. That's what I know him.
Under the same name, look, gimmick, and all that, or what?
It was Cal Bloom, I believe.
Okay.
Apparently, he's a former son of the former star Wayne Bloom. I don't know who that is, but he was apparently a wrestler in the 90s. So.
Yeah, I don't
know. Let's see. We get the Creed brothers of Diamond Mine. I love the Creed brothers. They absolutely demolished Dan Jarman and Trevor Skelly.
Yeah, these are the wrestler dudes, right? Like, they got the singlets on. They look pretty solid. I had never seen them before.
Yeah, they made their debut last week and then this week as well. And then we get a new wrestler joining Diamond Mine, Ivy Nile, as a former competitor of the Titan Games. Hosted by The Rock, of course. And then Kushida made his return. And he's officially defending his Cruiserweight Championship next week against Ravishing Roderick Strong. So should be a great match.
So I think this is a good bounce back for Malcolm Bivens and then his people. Just, when they had one of them get released during that big cut that they had, you kind of think, oh, they just started this stable and now they're not going anywhere with it. So nice to see him kind of regroup, get some guys back, and keep that storyline going.
Absolutely. Let's see. What else was there? Fatal 4-Way for the vacant NXT Championship. This was, like I mentioned, a lot of quick matches throughout the show. They got a lot of things kind of going here. So this match was, pretty relatively short for a title match. Pete Dunne faced against Tommaso Ciampa, LA Knight, and Von Wagner. And there were a few times where Von Wagner almost picked up that victory. And boy, that alone, if that would have happened, we could have seen the state of NXT right then and there. But it looks like Tommaso Ciampa. an original, Tommaso Ciampa, an original, picked up that title, and looks like he might go through some of the younger talent here first before they go off fully into a developmental brand. That's where they're going with it. So,
so when you see Ciampa get the title and holding it over his head, Goldie's back, yada yada, what is your initial reaction? What are your thoughts as you see that happen?
He doesn't. Well, he never lost the title to begin with. He got injured and relinquished it and never got it back. He said it was 908 days since he relinquished that title. With that being said, he also doesn't fit into this new NXT with all the colors and everything. Him looking old and gritty as he does. He very much fits the mold of a veteran, obviously. All these young guys coming after him potentially in the next several months, however long he's champion. So it's going to be interesting to see, and we'll see at the end, as we'll mention. He seems to already have an up-and-comer opponent kind of being set up there. So,
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I was kind of shocked to see them go back with him, but seemed like it got a pretty good reaction overall. Just, I think the NXT show, even though, like you said, there were short matches, but people seemed to receive it well. It was nice just to kind of see a crowd back with not so much glass there blocking it. Just a visual, but yeah, I mean, Vince wanted no short guys, no one over 30, and they put the title on Ciampa. But
like I said, it might just be a passing of the torch type situation right now.
Good. I mean, you put it on someone who's had a title. I mean, he's probably your most veteran guy, and seasoned title holder. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Johnny Gargano is probably the only one on the roster that had the title that's still there, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, he was one of them. So, but moving on to the real main event, James, because I want to give some time to this.
All right.
The wedding of Index, Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis. A beautiful package, recapping the entire story before the commercial break. Then we get to see Io Shirai and Zoe Stark and the grizzled young veterans coming out. They were invited to the wedding.
Okay.
When we return, we get to see everyone in the ring, from MSK to Saray, Ember Moon. We have, William Regal was out there. The zombie referee was out there from Cameron Grimes's and Dexter Lumis's match that they had last Halloween. Everyone was there. Johnny Gargano walks out Indy Hartwell. Ikemen Jiro had the rings. Poor Austin Theory got confused and saying, because he was supposed to have the rings. Johnny was like, where's the rings? Austin Theory was like, we're in a ring. So poor Austin Theory got a little confused, but it's all right. Ultimately, Indy pours her heart out during the vows. Lumis gives a simple thumbs up. The preacher's all confused and mad, like, why aren't you, pouring your heart out? And then Lumis puts him in the silence submission. So everyone calls out William Regal to, finish the ceremony. But no, we get to see Beth Phoenix, who apparently got her ordained the night before, just in case. Andre Chase interrupts, who's another up-and-comer, but it immediately gets put down by Odyssey Jones. Beth calls for the rings, wraps up the ceremony, and we get to hear Dexter Lumis say his first words ever on NXT television.
Yeah.
Words, I do. And this was probably the most beautiful wedding I've ever seen and witnessed. We got a minute here, so quick thoughts.
I had not realized, I didn't even put two and two together that we haven't heard him talk ever. So when I did hear him talk, it kind of stood out to me. And this is probably one of the more successful WWE weddings. I mean, it still had its shenanigans, but overall, nothing went too wrong.
Absolutely. Great way to end NXT 2.0. Backstage, we see Ciampa watching from a monitor, and he's quickly interrupted by Braun Breaker, who congratulated him, and they face off. So it's obvious who Ciampa's next opponent is. Quickly, we'll talk more about that later on, but quickly, I do want to quickly announce, I did have an announcement.
Yep.
2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks, the next 2 episodes, Season 8 of Beyond the Ropes is happening. We've been running a year and a half for Season 7. We're going to be a little rebranding, and we might do our little predictions for the draft going on in WWE. So there's a little announcement there. We'll talk more detail next week. But until next time, this episode has been absolutely too sweet.